Hi, welcome to another month and another episode of this podcast. It's been a while, just trading and having some of the results for the month of February. Yes, I think I'm smiling because I think this is like the worst month I've had trading this strategy, and it's actually I had the first month with a negative percentage of -1R, which is really, like I would say, for the account I was planning to flip, I lost all of the starting balance for that month, and that is how it works really, because anytime I flip an account, so this is the idea of how I trade. I try to flip monthly, and every month I will try to double it. So that's just it. Whatever starting balance I have in the month, I try to double it. Once I double it, and that's it for the month. But yeah, the market is what it is, and it's just my strategy. I think I have data from September. I have some data down to now, and this has shown consistent profits. But yes, you have such downtimes. It's not your strategy. It's not about you. I followed all my rules, so I'm happy, and that's why I'm still very much happy with the fact that I took this drawdown month. So without much ado, let's go straight into the chart so I don't bore you with my story. Okay. So this is the month of February. We started the month on a very high note, high spirit. Yes, there was no entry for a buy setup here. It took out this zone just before the session started, and so there was no point to enter the buy. I think the first trade was on the 6th of the month, where this zone came. I had this zone marked, and then my strategy, same way, same entry. Now again, when I have the zone marked, I'm always teaching the entry pattern. I think it's out there, so I take the zone this way. Let me just make it nice. I take the zone this way, and I try to get. So once it hasn't filled this part yet, what I do is I look at this. If you notice, there was a fair value gap as we're going up, so I'll put my entry around here, expect the market to come back and take me for a higher ride, and it took me out, and that was a -1 for the month. So let's just put it as -1. I'll just put this here. Do I have another way at which I journal my trades? I journal using an Excel sheet. Probably I might go into some formal journal platforms like TradeZelle and some other ones. Okay, so we had this zone drawn out again, and then you can see the next day. So again, one trade per day and I'm done. So the next day on the 7th, I came in. Usually I come into the market around this time, between 7 to 8 New York time. But where I am in the United States is between 6 and 7. So what was I looking at? So again, look at this. What's the first rule? We need a low, or we need any of the lowest part of this time frame, of the pre-New York time frame, to be taken out. This low was taken out. That's why I have the fractals to just show me some lows. I'm just being lazy. I think I learned from some people online that as much as possible, try to be lazy with the market, not in your approach or in building your strategy, but in the rules you have. So let's continue. So that low was taken out. Immediately got into this. I had this part of my strategy again. So when I saw this, I was like, okay. I was waiting on what will happen. Let me just draw. So this 33%. When this tapped in below the 33%, what I was waiting for was either a downward candle so that I can take the top of that candle, or price should take me in using a buy stop. And that was what happened. cool setup. Price took me in here, and then what did I do? Oops, sorry for that. So what I did was, this is 25 pips. Again, I have a rule that once it's above 40 pips, I'm not going to take the trade. So this 26, usually I set 26, and then I just put 25, and bam, we had a win. And this win was 1, 2, 3. So again, I'm really, I wouldn't say I'm not emotional. If I'm being sincere, I'm emotional in the fact that when I see the trades go my way, I'm happy, obviously. And when it's not going my way, obviously, I'm not like sad, and I'm not like very sad to the extent of probably throwing my tables and all of that. No, but obviously, I'm not happy it's not going my way. But that it is what it is. That's the Forex market. I hear some people say, "Oh, you should get to a point where you're not happy, you're not sad." No, we are humans, man. But again, it would not stop me from taking the trade. Okay, so this was the next day. So I already have one loss. So I'm still just looking for 2 or 3 wins in the month. Now with this win, I was looking for 2 extra wins. So I'm just going to be done. So what did we see? On the next day, price tapped into this point. Again, I'm waiting for 33% of the zone to be filled. Or if this does not happen, then I'm looking for more like a fair value gap going down. So notice there was no fair value here. It shows that, probably market is not ready to move. So when this happened, when this guy took out this 33%, I knew that, oh, okay, market is gone, probably into the zone, or the zone is a bit filled. So I just look at the last up candle before the down, and so I entered at that one, and then debatable, but I could have entered there or still enter here. I think I took it from here because I took it here. This was the last up candle, and it was greater. It's higher than this one. So usually I don't have that line. So if you notice, let me zoom in. You can see this up candle itself is the very last candle, and so that's why I put it here. Yep. And then my stop loss was about I think it's 24 pips or 25. Okay, so if it's 24, I usually will put 23 because of the space. Yeah, and that's it. So just as I said in my previous videos, you will see I do something like intent, then my entries. Those were on much smaller time frames, but now I had to work around my strategy to give me good results at a much higher time frame. So that is another loss. So -1. Let's put this as red. So we have 3 already, -2, left 1. The same thing happened here also. You can see we got into the zone. The zone was way above 30%. So I just took this. Let me show you. Let me just hide this one. So because I love to keep my journal, my trades, so I can see them and remind myself that it works. So I think it's okay. So let me just take this off too, so you can see it clearly. Hide this. So look at this. So I had this candle here. I had this candle, which was my entry. I put in a sell stop. The last high, the last upward candle just before the downward move, and then you can see, put it here. My stop loss is just above this. That should be about 6 pips. That was way small. And then boom, I think that this was one of the fastest stop loss hit I've gotten on this strategy. So then we have this one again. This another trade. There was a zone drawn out here, and then this move, and then I took a buy, and voila, that it took me out. So that's, we have minus, so at this point this is going to be -1, so we're at 0. Now we're net -1R already. Okay, -1. I'll just put -1. Good. Okay, so we're -1R there. Again, next day, come back again. So one will argue, oh, where was the high taken out? Because none of this high, swing highs. This is swing high 1, swing high 1, swing high 2 on this time frame, and then swing high 3. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, markets went in here. Let me just show you. Markets went in, took out this. I was like, okay, we have a zone that we love. Took out, so went in. I put in a sell here, but this did not tap me in. So I was waiting for the full take out of this 30%. But since there was nothing like that, I waited for a fair value gap. With this rejection, I got a fair value gap here. Let me just hide this. So with this rejection, I got a fair value gap here. Let me just mark it out for those who don't know what that means. So this is a fair value gap. So because it's a sell, I take the top of the fair value gap. I put my stop loss just above this guy. That's 22 pips. Is within my risk appetite. And then markets came, but no, did not go to my take profit. And one thing I do is I just set and forget it. So this would have been another loss. I don't take partials. I don't believe in it. I don't move my stop loss. I don't do stuff like that because I'm not trying to trade every day. I just want to get a certain percentage from the chart and I'm done. And so now if you notice, so we had the markets come here. So we can see this. I'll just draw this out here. So this is quite nice because it took out 33% in the zone, but it's arguable. You would argue with me that no one will have saw this coming. So I wouldn't enter with a buy stop. I would most likely have entered here. Let me just show it. I'll have entered at this point. Let me just show it. Oh, why is that showing? Let me see. Okay, so I'll have entered in here. Okay, at that point for the buy, and I think that hit take profit. Hit the take profit. Did I say take profit? Oh, not profit. Why hit take profit really? And so that's another. And I think this was the last trade that gave positive in the month. So that was how I took a lot of losses. All of these days, none of the strategies, none of the entry models worked at these zones. Here to none of the entries. I took a loss here, which is another -1, the same way. Taking out of the 33%, I just took in the last up candle. Let me just hide this one. I took in the last up candle before the upward move, which is this guy. Why did I take in this last up candle? I was not looking for a fair value gap because 30% have been filled. So I just gave you time to think about it. Think about it. So let's take a long. So I took a long here. I mean, February is quite, it was a month really, but it is what it is. And so we had this push. Nah, it did not hit take profit because this was all, I think this is about 90 pips. Let me, 9 pips, sorry. But even at 9 pips, yeah, I remember it did not hit TP. And so I took another loss. Oof. So I said it and I'm going to say it again. I'll always discuss my wins and my loss because it's part of the game. And, you know, that's just the game. Same way here too. we had this zone. We had this zone taken in. Let me put my gun to. So it had not filled 33%. But if I were to look for entries here, this would be way above. So I think that's the only subjective part in this strategy, which means when I have trades like this, I might be subjective to take it because it's quite far from the zone. But when the market came in again, notice at this point in time, this candle had filled into 3.3%. So my entry was just here. And so again, the market went and took another loss. So I took another loss on these. And then we went, and that was the last day of the month. Oops, sorry for that. And that was the last day of the month. So I'm hopeful that in the month of March, things will get better and better as the case may be. Again, thank you for joining in. As you can see, it's quite a mechanical strategy, but yes, the market is random, just like turbulence, and anything can happen. And that's it. In the next video, I'm going to see you. I'm going to talk, and we're going to look at my strategy again.